We're here in Duncan, Oklahoma, in Stevens County at the home of Hardy and Kathy Brooks. And Kathy is going to give us a tour of their garden. Hi, Kathy.
Good morning. It's great to have you.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I notice you have a few water gardens here around your swimming pool, and I see a cattail back here. It's really tall. Is that a special variety of cattail? Where did that come from?
That is the common old bar ditch cattail that we were driving down the highway one day and saw it and stopped and dug it up.
Okay.
Had it about 8 years.
Okay, that is the perfect way to grow a cattail.
It is.
In the pot.
It maintains it beautifully.
Can't get away and spread around the garden. And here you have a tall waterfall in this water garden. Is there a story about this waterfall?
Somewhat, yes. We had a retaining wall that we needed to take out, and we didn't know what to do with the rocks, but because they were so beautiful. So we just decided to build a waterfall. Knew nothing about water gardening. Did everything wrong, really. Finally ended up joining the Oklahoma City Water and Garden Club to try to find out a little bit about water gardening.
Okay.
And it has mushroomed from there.
Okay, you've been interested in water gardens ever since?
Yes,
you
about
even
12, 13
sell
years.
water plants,
yes,
is that
I
correct?
do.
Yeah, so you guys have really gotten into it after that.
Well, so many people kept coming to us and saying, well, where did you get this and where did you get that? And there was nothing available in Duncan, so
started providing the plants.
we have fun with it.
We have a nice collection of plants around the pool here. I see some large hibiscus. What colors are those?
They both are a bright red dinner plate size that just are gorgeous. I'm
Huge.
sorry they're not in bloom yet.
Pretty soon. I can see all those buds on there. Nice,
Yes.
large hibiscus, hardy hibiscus flowers.
Right.
Right here I see a little creature by your pool and carved
This
out
was
a little common boxwood.
boxwood that Hardy kept threatening to take out because it was getting too big. And so I said, no, let me do something with it. So I just decided, I started carving my little rabbit. I had to take it down so much that it left this great big hole in the middle that I thought wasn't going to come back. But for just one season, I think it's coming along pretty good.
It looks like it's going to fill in great.
It's
And I can see you have some little wires to kind of tie
yes,
some of the
I use
branches.
somewhat of a bonsai technique on it, pulling them where I want them, and I've got to figure out a way to get that foot down where I want it. But,
So it's kind of
but
got
that
its
will
foot
come.
sticking up
yes.
now, but we'll just tie that down.
But that will come in time.
Okay, it looks great. Nice little bunny rabbit. Well, I see a beautiful bougainvillea up here in a hanging basket. And lots of times we have people ask questions concerning how do you get your bougainvillea to rebloom, because they'll buy the plants in the spring, they look great, and then they just stop blooming. So what's the trick to...
I had experienced that myself also, but when Hardy built me the greenhouse and I started taking all this in, my weakness was I didn't want to prune it back because they bloom all winter in there, and the whole wall is just a mass of bougainvillea blooms. But then they got to struggling, like you say. So I have discovered that by using these open wire baskets, when I transferred them into those last year, they have just done beautifully. I think the confinement of the plastic hanging bag was just not good for it.
Okay.
So I've noticed all the difference in the world. So since I want them to bloom all winter and enjoy them, when it comes time to bring them out, I have a little bit of a problem because then they have to be pruned back. So I bring them out, I stress them.
Okay, so that's probably one of the big keys, putting the plant in stress.
Almost to the point sometimes I think I might be going to kill it.
Okay, so you leave it dry for quite a while.
I leave it dry till they just look like they're about to give up. And then I start feeding and watering, and they've just done beautifully. Okay, so the stress induces the flowering of the bougainvillea. Good point to remember. Well, this is a nice little orchid you've got on the table here, and you have a small greenhouse, so I'm sure you can keep all the plants. Do you keep the orchids in the greenhouse? They do well in the greenhouse for a while, and then as they look like they're going to do something, I take them into my bathroom, which has skylights around the jacuzzi tub. And it just brings them on beautifully. So that had 4 stalks of blooms, probably about a dozen blooms on it. Oh, wonderful! Earlier. So they do well in the bathroom. Very with all well. The steam from the shower, all that humidity. Well, you certainly have a lot of plants in containers. I love the different beds you have around your property here. I see a nice mass of begonias under a river birch out here in a shaded area. I think that looks wonderful. And in one of the other beds over here, I see you've got some different perennials and a little bit lighter bed. Looks like it's a little bit more sunlight. I see some purple cone flowers, and I love those balloon flowers. I think those are spectacular. They are beautiful. What other plants do you have in there The thing I'm sorry that we missed was I have a batch of orange and yellow Asiatic lilies that just outdid themselves this year, and I told them to wait for you, but they didn't wait.
They wouldn't wait for us.
They wouldn't wait,
okay.
But they were just beautiful.
I bet those were stunning. Well, right here, Kathy, I see looks like a little trail through the English ivy. Do you have a dog that runs back and forth?
No.
What makes that trail?
No, we have a wild turkey. He has discovered that if he gets up in that bed and looks in the mirrored window, he sees himself, and I guess he loves himself, I don't know. But he paces up and down and pecks on the window till I come out and run him off.
Loves looking at himself in the window? He loves looking at
himself, and he is beautiful.
Huh.
If you've not seen a wild turkey up close, they are so colorful.
And you can stay on the other side of the window and look at him all you want? Yes, I sit inside and watch him.
Okay. Every now and then I think he must sense that I'm there because I'll see him get very alert.
Huh, interesting. Loves looking at himself.
He loves looking at himself.
Well, Kathy, I think this water garden is truly stunning. It's a large garden. I like the way you place the large boulders around the edge, and the waterfall itself is just spectacular. How did you guys create such a nice looking waterfall?
Well, we went out rock hunting, and this rock was more than half buried in the ground and was standing up. Mm-hmm. And I could see from the tips, you know, what was exposed, that there was something there.
Some potential. Some potential,
yes. So we had taken a backhoe out, and as he started to dig, it just was obvious that was going to be my waterfall.
Going to be your waterfall. It's beautiful. And
he said it probably weighs about 6,500 pounds.
But it was worth it to get it moved in here.
It was worth it. The problem was we were setting it in, and as he was starting to take the chains off, it started to tilt.
Oh,
and I just panicked. But he still had the chains enough to where he could catch it. So we kind of rebuilt around it a little bit to get it secure.
Get that really good look. And you got the filter up there that creates the waterfall spills out of that with some plants in there, and you sort of tucked other rocks around there to create some little planting areas. Looks great. Well, right over here I see sort of a birdhouse in a wooden box. What sort of object is this?
Well, I'm fortunate enough to have a husband that loves to build things, and most of the time if I just suggest I need something, before I know it, he's down at the shop working on it. And in the large base is where we have our ultraviolet light hidden.
Okay.
And in the birdhouse, there's a door on the back of it where we keep the fish feed.
Okay.
To keep it away from the squirrels. So it's functional as well as pretty.
That's really attractive. And I guess Hardy also built an archway into the garden out here?
Yes, he did. It is copied after one that we saw in Houston that I just fell in love with.
Okay. Beautiful.
He always gets a little bit more carried away on things than what I originally had planned.
Makes them nice and ornate.
Yes,
okay. Great. And that's a Carolina jessamine,
yes, it is.
Presume, climbing up there. Well, in your water garden here, you've got some really colorful plants. I see you've got a canna in a pot in the water here, the Pretoria canna or Bengal tiger canna with those striped variegated leaves and orange flowers. And that's not the only source of color here in the water garden. You've got a wonderful collection of koi here, several different colors. And I understand that these fish have names?
They do. The one at your finger right now is called Lippy because he had a bacterial infection that distorted his mouth. But he was so beautiful, that was all right. We just treated him for it.
What's this beautiful yellow one here?
And that one we call Old Yeller.
Old Yeller.
Yeah, he is the bully of the pond.
Okay, well they certainly are cute. Look at that.
When he doesn't feel like he gets enough to eat, he goes out and just snatches a hold of a lily pad.
Let you know it's
time
to bring some food up. Well, Kathy, I certainly appreciate you showing us around your garden.
Well, it's my pleasure.
It was a wonderful trip around the area.
Wonderful to have you here, and
Thanks.
an honor to be asked.